Good morning to you all. I thought I'd put another phone up. As we were showing the one yesterday to be quite an old one from the States, we've got another one. And this is older than me. There's your date, 6/41. I wasn't even thought of then, I don't think. So it's probably pre-war. And a very old example. Now this is in fact a Tele 302 by Western Electric or Bell. You can see by the handset. You get it round the right way. Never get these round the right way. So let's put it round the right way. There we are. Bell system. Western Electric. While I'm looking at the handset, let's have a look at the inserts. Here we have the receiver, which is the correct one. This one's actually dated 43, so it's a couple of years later than the phone itself. Well made job. They call it HA1. Well, that is the receivers that are on these old phones. The transmitter is more like you would see on the newer phones, the 500s and that. And this is dated 46. This is your typical transmitter, carbon microphone. The handset is the typical Western Electric style, which is synonymous with early Western Electric phones. Coming on to the phone itself, it's got a metal base. All the bits are wired up inside. You've got your bell, and also pointing that out, that is a spring for tensioning, so you can actually adjust it by where it slots into those little grooves, and that is a bias spring. It allows the bell to work properly. The bell is dated 49, so it looks like this phone has undergone a few changes in the past, but it is exactly the right bell for this model. This there is not the network, this is the induction coil, or anti-side tone induction coil. And next up we got the capacitor, or condenser as it was called in those days. Show my age again. Let's have a little look inside. There's your dial. This is the typical Western Electric type dial. Very well made, all in metal, no horrible plastic parts. Well made dial, and it works perfectly. Note that it is a totally different design from the automatic dials. So this was the Western Electric dial. Has changed over the years, but this is the early one. You've got your cradle spring adjustments. Also got on here, and if someone can tell me what it is, there's another little device on there which are wired through to the bell and some other wiring goes away. I've got no idea what that is, so if someone out there knows what it is, please let me know. So that is the innards of this phone. As I said, 302. Now, a bit of history. I remember them very well. Well, I would do, wouldn't I, being an old so-and-so. These phones are commonly called Lucy phones, from the programme on TV which was shown between 1951 and 1957, I Love Lucy, which featured Lucille Ball, and she was often seen to be talking to someone on the phone, and the one she used was this particular model. Now, I remember this model many years ago when I visited my aunt in Canada, and this is exactly the phone that she still had. So she obviously didn't like the new 500 type. She stuck to the old one. And these phones are either, well, this one's metal. It's a metal case, painted. As I said yesterday, Americans often painted their phones. They're beautifully done. You couldn't even tell that it had been painted. But this one's been painted. You can see it's where it's shown through to the actual die-cast body. The dial itself, unfortunately, is missing the centre number, but that's only a minor point. I'll put it down to the fact it's got old. It only shows numbers. It doesn't show any letters, which is probably a bit unusual. But it's possible that is what they used in America, but I'm not too sure about that. Well, that's the phone itself. I've had this quite a while. It's quite a heavy job. Beautifully wired up. It's got the American plug on it. Don't ask me the numbers, I don't remember numbers. But that's the American plug. The cord to the handset is probably genuine, pre-twisty type cords. And I can show you the underside. I'll put that back gently. Show you what's on the base. I've got to do this careful though. Turn him over. And there's the base. Notice the feet are similar to the phone we saw yesterday on the Stromberg Carlson, but this one's made by Western Electric Bell. So it's a nice metal base. So all in all, this is quite a nice telephone. Worth, I'd think, a little bit of money now. As I say, I've more or less lost the idea of how much these things cost. I bought them when they were cheap and people didn't collect phones. I suppose I was mad in those days, but also very careful. Notice where the finger stop is. This is typical of the Bell or Western phones. It gives you a shorter IDP. Sometimes they're even further up there. But that is the phone. What else can I say about it? That is more or less it. So recapping, it's a 302, model 302. And this was made, I think it was 41 if I remember rightly. Yep, 41. Commonly called the Lucy phone, from Lucille Ball of I Love Lucy fame on TV. A lot of you will remember it still. I do, being an old codger. It's between 1951 and 57 they showed on TV. And obviously made by Bell, by Western Electric. And this was the phone that came out before the 500 version. So quite an unusual device. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Any comments please make, and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks again. Thank you.